Hello and welcome back to Wandering Monster, the Monster Manual of Podcasts. I am once again back in the seat, John Baltusberger.
I continue to be Charles R. Bernard.
Rumor persists that I am Ian Servas.
I'm Mr. Pashke.
Yes,
Hello.
friends. Last week we were graced by Jay Dragon of Possum Creek, and they played, I should say. I was behind the scenes for that episode. Played the wonderful game of Yaziba's bread and breakfast. I am a hungry boy. Um, and afterwards, Ian and I stuck our proverbial heads together. Not our kibasas, the other one. And we thought about like, okay, we don't have anything lined up. How do we get the next game lined up? And we scrambled a little, and we reached out on Facebook, and were immediately inundated by incredible creators and designers who were like, "Hey, you want to play our game?" And yes, yes, we do. Um, in fact, I'm really excited. Charles, you and I have talked about this before. I am not what is known as a fan of anime. As kind of a
True.
blanket, as kind of a blanket thing. It's just not my bag, baby. Except for really two or three, and those are um, Witch Hunter Robin. I liked in college. Uh, Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. And what we are playing tonight is not Samurai Champloo, although, boy,
That would be
hey,
dope.
if you have made a Samurai Champloo
Please, for the
RPG,
love of Lucifer, contact us. Yeah.
yeah, contact Ian as quickly as possible, because holy shit, we are playing the other side, the spiritual predecessor of Samurai Champloo,
Mhm.
Cowboy Bebop. Now, this isn't a Cowboy Bebop licensed game. I don't want to like put that form in you. It is a tribute, a loving caress, a game inspired by Cowboy Bebop called You Space Cowboy. It looks really cool. We've been Ian spent like 9 hours today putting together this game, and answering emails and getting everything together, including creating the characters we're going to play tonight. They are super dope. I am super excited, and I missed you all so much, which is why I'm talking so much. Um, so yeah. Does anyone else want to say anything before Ian just dives us into the fucking the hell fight of bounty hunting in space?
No, just that it's looking it over today. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and thanks to what should I call you, Sir Servas? I like that. That has a good sound to it, Sir Servas. For DMing tonight, he'll be running this Madcap experience. So, without further ado, let's let him take it away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
You ready for me to throw up the GM screen?
certainly so. And I'd also like to point out that we do have Nicholas in the room. I guess it's fair to say that lead writer, or I guess the band director of the game itself. So
That would be
Cool.
Onslaught
Fun.
6. Also in the room, we have
that is
Mr.
one and the same. That is the alias, if I'm not
Yes.
covering someone's superhero identity.
Most
And to
definitely.
clarify, I didn't spend 9 hours writing this module. This is actually a module that he had written that I am going to be running, but we
I
will
also
get
want to
into
mention that we have Jay Wilburn in the chat with us. Jay Wilburn, amazing author of the
Hi, Jay.
the Vampire Christ series. He's written a few. He wrote Room 138, which Madness Heart Press Publishing House. There we go. I wrapped it back around. Amazing guy. I'm going to be doing a special reading with him next weekend if you're in Central Texas. So, with welcoming some of our guests in, let's go ahead and there we are, our GM screen.
uh, So, a little bit about You Space Cowboy. It's inspired by many different systems and many different anime and classic sci-fi slash sci-fi western shows. There, you'll see for people who are veterans of Powered by the Apocalypse or Fate, there are some of those elements that kind of tie into how the game naturally unfolds. And I also apologize for using the wrong name for Onslaught Six. I was using the Book of Faces name, which Zuck, of course, gives no zucks about people's actual privacy and
Yeah, if
identity.
you want to pop in your like actual what you want to be called and your
And
pronouns for us, that would be
please,
super awesome.
I definitely apologize for that. So if anytime I
Also, I
misuse,
disagree that your legal name is your real name.
definitely apologize for that. So
Anyway,
apologies if I use anyone's name or pronouns incorrectly. Always feel free to let me know, as that's part of the safety tools of creating good and safe game space and having good decorum at the table. But back to a little synopsis about the rules. The interesting thing is the anti D20 stance in so many games do rely on D20. This game moves away from that. Instead of using a die that is associated with your stat being a d12, d10, d8, d6, and you're wanting to have higher rolls. If that is better, as the threshold for a good success is 10 plus, and for partial success is 5 through 9. So, just a little bit about that. Challenges in this game are called breaks, as there's an emphasis on the jazz punk element. So
mhm.
bringing in that the seat belts and kind of those other references. I listened to a lot of Yoko Kanno when I was younger, so fantastic to be listening to this again. But other than that, you'll get a little bit of the flavor on the way. You'll learn a little bit about traits and unique things that make players as they are. And I'd say, from a person running this game, it is very exciting to have a very fast and loose rule set that also encourages a lot of fast action and is super easy to learn. So, definitely worth picking up on itch. We'll drop a link to it, and I know that I think the Kickstarter backers are going to get their physical copies soon. I do believe so. With that, we
I
will
want a
introduce.
physical copy.
Oh, you'll need
Yeah,
it.
let us know. Let us know in chat where we can actually pick up a physical copy if we miss the Kickstarter, because I want that.
Yeah, some of
And
us learned of this recently, like within the past 48 hours.
so, with that, we will introduce our cast of characters.
I'll go first.
There we
I'm
go.
gonna barge right in. You can call me Shark. I'm a big muscle-bound dum-dum. Except for one thing, I have a passion for passion for loving the ladies. I got a passion for pumping iron, and I have a passion for the saxophone. And I joined the crew because I pretty much do what people tell me. And this guy said he'd give me some money if I signed up. So I was like, that sounds cool. Can I practice my sax? He's like, yeah, I guess. And yeah, that's me.
Who next?
You may call me the Phantom, as I is what I am to all of you. This Phantom. Some say I've always been here. I'm a man who is not tall or not short. Very indescript in style, aside from my fashionable black suit. It's almost as if I could get lost in a crowd and people will just gaze over me. My blonde hair combs neatly to the side, or is it black hair? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Rat don't talk much. Rat is about 4'11", between 4'11" and 5'2". Real scrawny uh person. Uh, I say it like that because Rat is completely androgynous. Wears large baggy shirts, large baggy like cargo shorts, big sneakers. Uh, Fairly hairless, but Rat also has a lot of like, maybe they're cybernetics, maybe they're alien traits, maybe they're bioengineer. Like, giant solid black eyes, long nose. It's really hard to pin down what Rat is. Um, Rat, uh, Rat appeared on ship one day, and before the rest of the crew could kick Rat off, Rat had fixed three issues the ship had always suffered from, and everyone decided it's just like maybe it's best if this one's just the stowaway just stays here because the ship seems to run better when Rat's around. Unbeknownst to everyone, Rat is running from the mob, having racked up incredible gambling debts.
And did you say rat is rat's pronoun? Your little ship afloat, wrapped together to make everything work. Supposed to be, and all of the edge is very much like a whole planetoid sphere with just giant skyscraping cities and an atmospheric bubble keeping it all together. The planet, or planetoid might be a better word for it, has an unusually short day cycle where a day is equal to 9 solar, I guess, 9 Earth hours, Terran hours, I should say. So it's a city that never sleeps, as is perpetually rotating and always constantly bathed in light. So a lot of people are engaging a lot of stims and other things to make sure they're awake for the constant work hours that they put in. So, and as a quick aside, as we go through the story, as there is definitely an emphasis on the televised collaborative story action that comes with this game, there'll be times that I put the players on the spot to improv some of the different elements that they're encountering together. This does include uh, enemy actions, enemy attacks, and things like that, but also locations and things that they find. So that makes it a little bit fun for me because they'll never know when I'll spring something on them. Like right now, they find themselves at their favorite restaurant slash hidey hole in Ceres. What's the bar's name that you're at, or what's the restaurant's name? Bar
Oh,
or
I think it's a bar, and yeah,
Lola's goat.
Lola's goat is exactly what it is, and it lives up to the name. It is like a dive bar for those who get kicked out of dive bars.
There's that wooden sign that hangs above the door, almost like an old saloon sign that rattles anytime a ship comes into the airport, making that rusty squeaking sign. And the thing that's the most strange about it is the fact that in the corner, plugged into a wall socket, there is an electric sheep with these glowing eyes, also giving credence to the bar's name. It also doesn't hurt too that the barkeep herself definitely has the appearance of a goat with curly, tight hair about her head. So the three of you always kind of take this nook in the back while you're looking for jobs. You're on your crappy, clunky cell phone. Your cell phones are basically giant bricks with tiny Nokia screens, and you're tuning into the BNet or the Bounty Hunter Network to see if there aren't any jobs that you can get yourself into. So you might be hungry at this point because a lot of you are pretty low on double dollars at this point, and you're just needing the next gig. How did your last gig go? Was it successful? Were you able to catch your bounty?
We would have caught it if it wasn't for Rat. Just throw that out there. It's all Rat's fault.
I got to punch a guy.
I, we had him. Yes, we had him in our grasps, and we
Yeah,
were punching him.
yeah,
And then what
pretty
did Rat
hard in
do?
the face. I'm not exactly. Rat distracted me. I have a problem with Rat.
Rat pulled out a new toy, a new gun, and Shark did not believe that Rat was going to be able to shoot that gun without hitting everyone in the place. Um, and so he dove for cover, allowing our bounty time to flee.
So, that being said, you're feeling a little bit down in the dumps. So, you're in the cups a little bit there, trying to wash away your sorrows. When you get that tinny, high pitched beep wail that your phone gets when there is a new bounty that's up for grabs. And If you're fast enough, you can stake your claim on it before other people claim it.
Like, who's fat? Probably Rat's fastest. I'm gonna guess based on the description.
Um, I think he just means if we go ahead and hit whoever's looking at the thing, uh, it
Someone
just
wants,
hits the select button.
or
I think
or
we're
you
good.
could, if someone wants to be the person that makes like a moves break to be first, you're more than welcome to.
Sure, I'll go for it. I got a 12 for my dice on that. It would be what?
That'd be your
Just
D12.
D12. Just give it a roll.
Yep.
That's an 8.
Good enough. You foible with your phone. You drop it in your tankard of whatever lager. Lager is kind of in quotation marks.
No,
But
it
you
was
thumb.
whiskey sour.
Well, I just bit into a stereotype there, and you're able to thumb the button just fast enough that you're able to stake your claim on it. So you stamp it with your personal seal, saying that you're accepting the bounty. Go ahead and John, put up the bounty picture onto the screen, if you will.
Hold on, I didn't pull that one. I just pulled the two. I just pulled the two things. So there's no bounty picture.
There is a bounty picture in the folder I sent, but we can forego it at the moment.
I will pull that up as you keep talking.
Absolutely. So you see that the target's name is the NFT Hound, which already there you start to get that ire in the back of your skull, as you know that one of the most heinous crimes in the civilized world is those reprehensible people that trade in cryptocurrency. All of you can remember how there was the great collapse that was triggered by those reckless people trading illegal farmed currency that not only morally bankrupt society, but also had huge ecological consequences, such as the great deserts that now span across the Terran surface, were mostly due to NFT and cryptocurrency trading. You know instinctively from your dealings with bounties that generally people that deal in crypto are worth more dead than alive, just due to how much people hate crypto
I
bros.
appreciate this a lot.
The official charge is state offender of trading cryptocurrency. Their last seen location is a get it trademark marked. Unknown associates, the normal one, Blade Bakshi, and Claudio. Wanted for possession and illegal distribution of cryptocurrency, ownership and trade of blockchain elements.
Scumbags.
Yeah.
So each one is worth 200 double dollars alive and 600 double dollars dead.
So they're worth more dead?
Absolutely. They're
All right, the
scum.
bounty is now on the screen.
So each one is worth. I don't see it yet, but I'll give it a second to populate.
What was the third? I've got the normal one, Blade
Blade,
Bakshi.
yes, and Claudio question mark.
Okay.
The surname formerly attached to Claudio.
That is true. So, you know that from being here on series for not too terribly long, you know that Get It Mart is a pretty common. There we go. There's the picture. A pretty common convenience store. In fact, there's at least one in every of the sectors in this district that you're in. Currently, you're in the airport district. This is where the hangar is for all the spaceships and starfighters that come in and out. But the other areas nearby include the Strip, Corporation Square, the Warehouse District, the slums, and Ceres Mall. Each one of them predominantly have one of the Get It Marts. And in fact, even though there's a lot of curvature of this planetoid, you can make out that very distinctive glowing neon sign. In fact, what is their logo again?
A squid playing the xylophone.
Exactly, because that says value and convenience. The
Exactly.
squid with his xylophone.
I
Also, at
really
the
want to
higher end,
see that.
It'd be
the
Oh
a
higher
good
end
man.
one.
stores, if you go by the logo and you hit the xylophone, it plays their jingle.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it. You hope that someday you can save enough double dollars that you can get the Get It Mart door chime sound on your phone when you get a notification. Someday you'll be that rich.
Yeah.
So we've had someone make fan art for Wandering Monster before, but that's another fantastic example.
Yes.
Is Squid playing the xylophone in neon. I'd get that as a shirt.
That might be our new, like, if we get that, that might be our new logo. I mean,
If you get cart stealing, it inks you as you exit.
Love it. So
that might be our
at this
new, like,
point,
if we
you
get that,
have an
that might be
active
our new
bounty
logo. I mean,
and you're hungry, you've got bills to pay, so you need to begin your investigations so you can track down these fiends and apprehend them or do society some good and execute them. So, how do you begin your search? You're here in what's her name's goat tavern, electric sheep, something.
Lola's.
Lola's good. Yeah.
See, that's why it's such a forgettable name. That's why people rely on the sign and the electric sheep to bring them in.
A sheep, despite the fact that it's Lola's goat. I love that detail. That's great.
Hey, I was trying to shoehorn a Philip K. Dick reference in there.
I liked it.
I liked it too, and it also, had the didn't end up factor that I so enjoyed. All right, so we have to. Does the bounty buzzer tell us which? Get it? I'm gonna start saying it like that. This person was spotted at. All right, so we have to.
So, in order to kind of deduce that, there are a couple different ways using your breaks, such as if you have a way to gather information, such as gather intel is one of the cool breaks. If you have some way to tap into the infosphere that runs through all the corporations, it's kind of like a very screechy dial up. If you have some tool that lets you hack the planet, then you could do that.
I could
Or
hack.
you could gather intel as brains and you can kind of schmooze your way or start interviewing people to kind of get some more information either about these people or their whereabouts.
I've got
Or
the hacking machine. I hack. I do the things. I go online. I look
Hack
it up. I go bing
the
boom boom boom.
planet.
so go ahead and make me a brains check and see if you can't maybe get some more information about what their descriptions are or more information about how to find them.
This is very peculiar. You see, there are lots of little things going on out there on the internets, and as we all know, they were last spotted near a Get It, and I did not got it when I checked the internet. That was a one on Vine roll.
So you fail the roll, and in fact,
Yeah,
as you are trying to the foible around with your device, you drop it again into your whiskey sour, and it starts to spark up a little bit, and it's all the buttons are gumming up with all that very thick synthetic simple syrup.
this
Rat
is
grabs it out of his hands. Am I on mute? I might be on mute. No, I'm not.
you're not. I
Hooray!
can hear you.
I grab it out of Duff Phantom's hands,
Tough
uh,
Phantom.
and immediately get to fixing it from his terrible fuck up.
I'm just curious if you're always keeping a bag of rice in your back pocket at all times. Now, because that you failed this roll,
No, but my
while
spit is a lubricant.
I'm gonna let that innuendo just hang there. So since Phantom, you failed your roll, you do get a point of juice. So that is something that will
Okay.
allow you to boost your roll in the future with some additional consequence. So Rat, go ahead and make me a let's
Fix
see
stuff.
a fixed stuff roll.
But I get +2 because I got my toolbox. That is a 13.
So you instantly kind of pull out a built-in drip sheet of it, and you wring out the beverage. How since your
I
form is indeterminable, do you drink? Do you drink? Do you drink this mechanized drippins?
um I don't drink, no, I don't drink stuff that's been used. The lubricant and oil within my weird form, alien, cyborg, who knows? Is all natural, baby. Or I mean, as far as you know. But Rat reaches into a back pocket of his cargo shorts and whips out what looks to be a lockpick set for a second, but then in another hand whips out like ethanol alcohol and begins, essentially takes the whole thing apart, swabs it down with ethanol, and then puts it back together like in seconds flat. Like it kind of looks like you're at the big race thing that goes in a circle with a pit crew.
Slot cars.
The
Oh,
Indy
the NASCAR
500?
thing. I was thinking slot cars, but NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
Uh, and like it does not hand it back, by the way. If allowed, Rat glares at Das Phantom, not even looking at the device, and is going to attempt to hack the planet as well.
So if since it's been fixed, if you feel like your hands are dry enough and you're not going to drop something in your drink again, you can try again, Phantom, unless someone else has another
I'm
idea.
not giving it back to him. I'm
Oh.
hacking the
Oh.
planet with it.
Silly rat, that is mine. Why will you take Das Phantom's device?
Because I
What'd you
rolled a
do?
natural 12.
Nice. I'm you that I have
Again, not even looking at the device, just glaring at Das Phantom as I tinker with it. Pull it out, fix it, hack the planet, and hand it back to him, all silently.
See, that's what I was going to do before it slipped on into the drink.
I rolled a
The
natural 12, so I get a
lubricants-
point of juice, correct?
Sorry, did you roll max on that? Did you say?
Yeah, I rolled a nat 12.
Then yes, you'd get a point of juice on that.
Cool.
So wait a minute. We got juice from both fucking up completely and knocking it out of the park on the same exact
Task,
skill.
yeah.
Nice and
Wow,
juicy.
that's awesome.
From what I understand, we should be juicing as much as possible because we're going to get a lot of juice, and we can only
Okay.
have one.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Juice it up.
Which, man, like Ian, you know, I'm a big fan of that sort of mechanic.
Absolutely. So this will definitely encourage you to make this game as much as cinematic as possible, since you have that lets you persevere through things. You equally can get ahead through your failure as much as your critical success. So you said that you were also doing a hack the planet roll as well as you were handing it back. Go ahead and make me that roll.
No, I hacked the
That was
planet
the one
and
that
then
was,
handed it back.
I see. I was thinking that was the fix it. Gotcha. All right. So you're still
No, my
further-
fix it was a 13.
Got it. So oh, I see. So you're hack the planet. Got you for information. So with that success, you're able to tap into some pretty dusty corners of the BNet to pull up information on previous runs and some more information about these characters. You know that the NFT Hound themselves is really a relatively young kid. I mean, this 23, and from what you're gathering from the case files, there is some rich trust fund brat that has been funneling a parent's money into illegal crypto generation. The person uses a projection technology that will project images in their database onto where their face should be. So it's almost like a digital cloaking device just for their face to kind of have some different personae that they can really represent. Their trades in cryptocurrency, crypto assets have been acquiring rare, forgotten, and perhaps forbidden Earth archetypes or Terran imagery of some type of very esoteric cults. There's no data file on what that image might look like, but they've been scouring the infospheres to acquire these very rare NFTs.
I
Your
don't understand a word you just said. I was like, uh huh, uh huh.
the
They've
normal
got they've got NFTs. We can't show the NFTs because it's illegal. We don't own the receipts for
We
that.
haven't funged them.
So, yeah. Okay, so that's why we can't display the fart jar NFT that they have
They
because
wear it on their face.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
rob
it's
a bank with the fart jar on your face.
I just can we just
Different
okay?
future.
Can we just like step outside and look around for someone who has like a depressed monkey cartoon as a face
yeah.
and then arrest that dude?
I like that someday in the future, when people are like going through the digital archives of the doomed human race, and they find this 30,000 years in the future, they'll be like, "What was wrong with this civilization? Fart jars and sad monkeys." They'll never quite know.
I think
You're
okay.
in,
I spend a inordinate amount of time thinking about what the distant future will think of us because like we think some really fucked up things about the past,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I think like, what if all of that was just like, what if the Greek gods were just the Star Wars of that time?
for
Oh
certain
man.
so from your hack the planet, your info that you're able to pull on the off of the quote unquote the normal one is an enigmatic person in the fact that they keep rotating their projected face that they put on are just random people. Perhaps that they're actual people, or maybe they're just AI generated. Not too sure. Your information about Blade Abakshi projects old animated pictures from looks like 70s and 80s cartoon. Like you're seeing something that looks. You heard legends about hobbits and wizards, Gandorfs or something, Gandags. So you see, they'll project images of that, and then the Claudio is the only person that can really decipher the information about Claudio is going to be you, Sharp. You clearly identify the mythological super wrestler from the 21st century, Claudio Castagnoli, but has a question mark photoshopped in their face. So those are the images that these people project. So probably if you're finding people using this weird technology, the chances are they're your bounties. So you've got a little bit of information about what they look like, but yet you still need to find which of the get it marts they're at.
I'm actually gonna do a read the situation, which is I think my D10 if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see,
No, no,
D10.
no, no, no. That's
Yes, I have your character sheet pulled up as well. So
yeah, I
yes,
got
you
it
are
right here.
correct.
Okay. And it is of course a 9. Um,
So
yeah, I don't need to do anything with that. That's good.
So you know that the bar itself that you're in is quite normal. You're getting a little bit of a mixed feeling. You feel like these people are probably more pushovers than anything. Probably, they'll just give in without a fight. Is what you're guessing. There's got to be bluster, right?
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe.
I I
But
was
you
I
also
was
know that if their crime is punishable by death, maybe that might make them a little bit desperate.
hmm, yeah. I still have no goddamn. What are the different districts again?
So there are different districts. So if you think of like a hexagon of being what the this sector looking like, your immediate environs include the Strip, Corporation Square, the Warehouse District, the slums, or Ceres Mall, and then of course the airport, which is where you are now. Airport is an old tongue-in-cheek reference to have you ever been air flight? Everyone uses spaceships these days, but
Yeah.
you
Okay.
appreciate the archaic reference.
It is. It's lovely. I hope there's a 747 dock there called the Queen Mary, and it'd be pretty great.
That's
Um,
where you have your starfighter docked.
that's right. Uh, s- I'm gonna just. I my guy's supposed to be kind of a dum dum, so I don't want to break character by giving these other two a hint on how to, proceed from here.
You're not necessarily a complete dum dum. None of your stats are horrible. All of you are TV character level of everything. It's like everyone in all the players that you make are at least a 7 out of 10 as far as appearance. So think again, kind of in anime terms, where you're still good at something, you're just not maybe great at it. So if you want to give it a shot, it's still within character. If you
Okay.
want it to be your character, that's up to you. You get to sit there and play sax all day.
That'll come into play. Trust me.
At some point, you should probably tell people your character's reference for our audio listening only character audio.
Yes. Well, if you'll recall the 1980s era film Lost Boys, there's a famous scene where there's a very rowdy concert. I mean, it borders on open anarchy and rebellion, really. And the band that's heating this joint up so bad just has this like badass singer who's wearing like jeans and chains and nothing else. And he's, built like a brick shit house, and he's playing the hell out of a saxophone, just like putting his whole and he's like moving his hips while he's so if you know that scene, that's me. But the sax is in the case right now. It's the sole thing I bring along. I can do
What
some
kind
like,
of saxophone is it?
oh man, it's a berry, because then I can do some reps with it while I,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so I'm gonna amble over to the bar of Lola's Goat, and I'm gonna get a muscle milk.
We also have to give credits to MJ Mayhew 69 catching the reference and the song reference. So you win all the internet points we have to award today. So
That's true.
yes, you
I
get your
actually might be able to give them points. Like
if
that
you
might actually
can.
be a thing I can do.
If
For
you
just
can,
this
then do
recording,
so.
or
So you go and get yourself a muscle milk.
And
You
while
know,
I'm doing it, I'm gonna try and like pump the bartender just by being like, "Hey, you know about any illegal stuff?"
she turns and gives you a sheepish look, but it was a bad reference there. And
Oh yeah, that's right.
she looks like a
She
goat.
she
I took
does
a
look
sec.
like a goat, curly hair and all. Yeah.
She bleats to you that she doesn't quite know with any illegal activity, and as she's saying that, she's actively shoving something under the counter into a box and like standing in front of it looking nervously. She's like, what kind of activity are you looking at?
Rich guys trading stuff that doesn't exist.
And she stops and she looks around at the dingy bar. There are ceiling tiles falling in, probably ancient asbestos. You've got all the booths have slashes and the stuffing's coming out of it. And she goes, "Honey, do you think that there are rich people coming in here?"
Okay, thanks. I kind of like lumber back to the table, and I, drink my muscle milk, and I tell the other guys like, we can rule out the slums, and maybe not the corporate district though, and that's all I got.
all right. So how many? We had five
Six, I think.
places. There's six.
So there are six. There are six areas: airport, strip, corporation square, warehouse district, slums, and Ceres Mall.
We can rule out the warehouses too.
Okay.
Maybe the
So
mall.
I was going to suggest the mall myself, actually.
yeah,
How loosey goosey is technology in this setting?
Think about technology not really advancing much since the 90s in a way, in as much
Hell
as when you
yeah.
see Alien, how their tech didn't really progress much after like the late 70s. So it's like this 90s. So there really aren't any like robots or androids, but the ones that do exist are like super obvious and clunky, almost Jetson-esque. Your cell phones are bricks. People still have beepers and they use them
I
unironically.
was gonna bring up pagers. That's so awesome.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's enough technology for people to put displays of NFTs over their faces in holographic form.
It's
But
forbidden.
but
Could
that's like
could
polygons, like 90s, you know?
could say um, someone who is technologically savvy, jury rig something to detect uh, holographic projections.
That definitely seems like something that would be up Rat's alley. I would assume that there's enough bits and bobbles that you have going on in the ship in your locker that you could probably cobble something together that would you could detect giant power sucks because that technology would have to have like something that would really generate that field. It would almost be the equivalent of a Sega Game Gear. That thing
Like
sucks so many batteries.
I
So
I'm
like
going to
grow
run back.
lights.
A rat holds up a finger, like first like hold on a second, then kind of threatening, and then scurries off. And I'm going to go get my Sega Game Gear from my locker and cannibalize it for parts to become a NFT hologram detector.
So if you want to take the time to build some of that tech, it's going to take you a good quarter of the day. It will a quarter of a day is really not that long since a day is 9 hours. So realistically, it's going to take you about 2 hours to make some type of device. As long as you're able to make me a, let's say, since you're making a pretty complicated thing, how about you make me a fix something
Mhm.
and
Hang
Uh,
on, hang on. I
what?
actually want to assist on this one. We can do
So
that,
you
right?
can't. So the assist function in this is that you're both rolling together
Mhm.
and you add in your results. You just don't get to have partial success. So
Yeah. What am I rolling for that? Because I'm going to accompany Rat on my saxophone while they work. Just and maybe it'll be what is it called? Careless Whisper the whole time.
so uh,
oh man, God. All right. So you've got.
What is it? A
I'm
D
trying
what?
to figure out logistically how you could George Michael someone into
I can tell
being
you,
successful.
I know how it works.
Oh man.
I immediately put earplugs in, and the added focus of me blocking out all other distractions helps
There you
me.
go.
See,
Okay.
there we go. So I I will just have you make me just a general cool break because maybe there'll be manipulate someone cool break, and you'll add your play wicked sax solo trait. So that's your D4 on top of that.
Okay. Hang on a second. That
So
is the
No,
wrong. Nope, that's a 6 and then a D4 on top of that. I think a D4 is the one that I don't have. No, I do. Never mind. And the answer to that is on top of a 6 is a 2.
so I need to roll at least a 2.
Yeah.
I rolled an 11, so I think we're good.
all right.
But it means my sax playing was just like not great.
So so
But also, you did it for like 3 straight hours.
Yeah. Well, that's why I lift so hard, man. Like it
that's
takes power to just wrench that heartfelt music out of me. I'm twitching my hips the whole time too, you know. Every so
Yeah, I
often
also have
stopping to
blinders on.
sing. Yeah.
Das Phantom, you are in the bar and you're a forgettable person. That's part of your talent and what you've leaned into the most. Your colleagues have left you and you've just kind of melted into the back of this bar. And what do you do as they are going to be doing something for the next 2 hours? How do you use your time?
Well, I would have left that bar as not very likely to gather any new information. The mall seems like a place where there'd be a lot of get its and other got its, I suppose. So I guess Das Phantom would go to the mall and try to see all the cool people seeing all the cool things, but not be seen himself.
So, if you want to get to the mall pretty quickly, you'll need to buy yourself a ride. Since you don't need, it doesn't need to be an emergency ride. It would cost you 25 double dollars to make it a fast, swift ride by a junky hover car. Is that
20,
acceptable to you?
25 double dollars? A lot of
Or
double
you could
dollars.
spend a good 45 minutes walking there. You just won't have as much investigation time if you're going to be back at the ship and within 2 hours.
So 25 round trip?
We'll make it that way. It's for convenience.
Okay.
Yes.
That's easier to swallow.
But you're not
Okay.
tipping because you're pretty broke. But that's bad karma.
Now,
Luckily, karma's not a mechanism in this game.
Yeah.
So
if we're
Not
going for
Shadowrun.
So basically, there is no trains or anything where I could just slip on undetected and be stealthy like.
Well, when this whole planetoid was being laid out, that type of infrastructure was really not thought of.
Okay,
'Cause-
so all right, then I will just begrudgingly pay the 25.
So when you get to the Ceres Mall district, it is literally one contiguous mall. It almost looks like a Mobius strip of mall. You really have a hard time telling what's the front entrance, what's the back entrance, as it kind of knots upon itself. Imagine it is. It's kind of like a Gordian knot slash an Ouroboros slash Klein jug of commerce, of consumerism.
So it's like an
So
IKEA.
it's a hyper IKEA. It is the hypercube of IKEAs.
Oh
But you
god.
notice front and center, you see that familiar glowing hyper sign of the squid playing the xylophone.
Okay.
It rotates on an axis on a big pole, and you
Sounds
see this
beautiful.
district's get it mark.
It's time to get it. Yeah, we should go investigate and look for our three peeps.
Oh, you're still on your own, my friend.
I know, I know.
We'll do this. We'll do this as a quick side vignette. So you walk inside the convenience store. What does the chime sound like when you walk in the door? Because you know it's a xylophone. So what's that little tonal sound like?
Um, ding ding.
Oh, that's fantastic. And what does it smell like when you first enter?
Surprisingly, like better than you would think. With the squid, you would think fishy and bad, but no, it's like lavender and like cleaner. Like they've clearly, this is the mall. They're taking care of this. Get it? So it's immaculate. So like the slums where the squid ink would probably be the actual smell.
Exactly. This being such a consumer focused area, you know that it's very brightly lit with lots of different neon, and there are lots of different vending machines on one of the side. You have all kinds of different kiosks with different goods on it. And of course, there's always the obligatory clerk wearing the squid hat, looking sad and in the dumps because they have to work 2 day 2 day long shifts.
Yeah, but they get to wear a sweet squid hat.
So, all right, I gotta break in here real quick. I once had a mall job where I worked at a record store that was in an outdoor mall, which wasn't like a strip mall. It was like a fake town made out of mall shops, and it was like squeaky clean, and yeah, a real bummer at the same time. But it had a hot dog on a stick there, and those people have to wear the dumbest fucking outfits. And even as a lowly mall employee, there's like a pecking order, and those people were just like, they looked so fucking sad to be there, dressed in their like blue and yellow hats. And
If they had glowing squid hats, you bet they would have been higher up on that pecking order.
Yeah.
yeah, true, yeah.
Dust Phantom, you can tell this is not a glowing squid hat. This person's pretty low on the totem pole. They don't even have a hot dog on a stick hat.
I'm sorry, the totem what?
Well, sorry, that is probably not a PC in the far future. On the commerism stick.
I think that's the stick they beat me with. Like that's the stick. That's what being low on that stick means.
It's like a dipstick, but for people, unfortunately.
It just tells people how much money you have. It's also known as the Zuck stick or the Bezos rod. So you know that this is a pretty low on the
Bezos rod. It's got to be the Bezos rod.
pretty low on the Bezos rod.
All right, so I guess I would approach the young lad and hello, sir, child. How are you?
Here.
Ah, yes, as we are
Here.
both. All right, so I So, how are things? How's your shift going?
See
Is
that
it
this
good?
so this greasy faced teen moves the hair out of their eyes, tucks it back inside the squid hat, and just gives you this glazed over look. It sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
I
now I'm just picturing him as a teenage Squidward wearing a squid hat, like long face, and
I've been waiting all day to say make like a future reference. So he is very not happy to be here, and you can see that partly because so much of the mart is automated with different kiosks and machines that really having a clerk is pretty much the person there that kicks the machine, like one of these automated vending machines when they don't vend right, or to answer dumb questions like where's the vending machine. It's obviously right there next to the vending machines. So this is the worst of the worst jobs. So he just gives you this deadpan look.
Yeah. Okay. So, I was wondering if you might be able to assist me in finding some of my
Gosh.
friends. Yeah, I see.
All right. What do you need?
I'm looking for three chaps. So, uh, we have I just described one of them has a question mark as a face.
What do you need?
Have you seen a gentle person like that?
Yeah,
Perhaps, maybe.
yeah, a couple
Good,
days
good.
ago.
Ah, did
They
do
usually
you
don't come into this location, but they were looking for fucking egg salad sandwiches.
egg salad?
Who orders fucking egg salad sandwiches? No
Egg
one
sa-
eats egg salad. No one eats the sandwiches from these fucking machines. They're the only dipsticks that do. And
I
their
see.
normal get it mart was out, and they had to have their egg salad sandwiches.
Did they savage egg mutts that or squid or get it that they got the eggs from? Would they purchase them?
What?
Did they happen to inform you as to which store was out previously?
Yeah. The uh he looks underneath the counter for a little bit like he's trying to find like a corporate directory map, and he's like, warehouse district.
Warehouse district. Ah,
Those fuckers tried to pay in crypto. Ooh.
crypto. Such fad, yeah.
Yeah, they'd made a big stink about it, and they knocked over a trash can, and I had to pick it all up, and we kicked them out of the store. And yeah, if they come back in this location, it'll ping the cops like
Well,
they do.
good as it should. As you do not deserve that, my good man, chap.
Finally, some respect.
Yes, as everyone deserves.
For a second, like the shitty facade of this teen it like cracks a little bit. Like they want to be like dying for something with like a paternal affection that you're on the verge of giving, and they don't want to
Uh-oh.
also give up that ass hat persona that they have. Like they're very conflicted.
Mm. Uh, it was tough. I remember when I was your age, when I was a young lad, little phantom. I also worked at a service station. And yes, people were very rude, and I did not care for them. I feel for you, my good lad.
So he just breaks down sobbing, and he talks all about how much he hates his dad and how much he's not
Oh
understood. His
man.
mom works too much. And so you're there for the rest of that 2 hour block where he just pours his heart out, tells you all of his favorite bands, and gives you playlists to listen to, but then also marks on your map where this other get it location is.
All right,
And
not the second, but like almost immediately after I get that information, I slip just back into the crowd as he's talking and
make
just
make So, Das Phantom, go ahead and make me a blend in roll, which is a cool roll.
I'm picturing the Homer Simpson gif.
Yes, that's exactly.
All right. Blend in. It's cool roll. It's a D8. I got a 2, but I'm gonna use my juice and re-roll that because
Just desperately want to disengage.
yeah, and it adds the previous roll to
Yes.
this. Cool.
Yes.
I need to get a new set of dice. 4.
So you utterly fail. This kid has poured his heart out to you, and you were so obviously trying to detach that you've just caused this kid to like clam up forever. They'll never be able to afford therapy.
Does he knock over a display of like? Does he knock over the trash can?
No, worse, he's just disappointed and he just cries.
Aw.
Oh, I
Hearing a
think it's
teenaged boy cry who's hyper masculine is a really sad thing.
We broke at least one
wife is an
heart
eighth
tonight.
grade.
Yeah.
My wife is an eighth grade teacher. Them boys cry all the time.
Well, sure. Like, you know, the, except that boys don't cry. You know.
Yeah, when I was little, everyone was hyper masculine. So yes, you awkwardly knock over a trash can in the pursuit of trying to back away from this team.
Just
He
more work
sees
for
that
him.
you just pull one over on him, and he cries into his squid hat, and you hear like the door chime say "Get it" as you leave. So you find
Is it that suggestive? Get it. Get it.
so you find
If that
yourself
were a real
back.
place, so help me, Lucifer, like I would not be able to stop going just here. Get it? Every time.
So that's gonna be one of
Sir,
our next shirt slogans.
This is
Yeah.
the fifth time you've come in here. Yeah, I need more pizza pockets, bro.
That's right.
Get it.
Buy a bigger
Sorry.
bag. No, I just see the one individual pocket.
Yeah.
Our official like Wanmon shirts are gonna be "It's for your health" and
Get it. Get it.
with
Get it with
I get
the
a
with the
shirt with,
squid
like, a
with the
neon-
squid playing the
Yes,
xylophone.
God, I have to have a
Fake
friend make
logo.
that.
Yeah, yeah, that would be amazing.
Oh man.
Oh man, instead of Reddit, it's Get It. So you
Oh, so
take
good.
your ride share because you don't have enough money for the C-Link substation. That
Can I call the peoples and update them to the warehouse
Sure.
lead?
Yeah, did you want to call them instead of meeting them back at the ship?
Yeah, I think that would be a better use of.
You're trying to avoid the George Michael's montage as well.
Yeah, because I've been around them long enough. I know what they're doing, and I know I don't need to be there.
It's just something between two adults that happens in a room with a closed door.
It's
you know?
questionable if Rat
Totally
is an
cool.
adult. Rat
Sir,
may or may not be
As
an
far
adult.
as you can tell, I am an 11-year-old person.
I
Them?
didn't. Well, look, don't read into it the wrong thing. Like, two people do stuff in a room all the time, like play pinochle or plan the overthrow of the United States government. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So, like, I'm assuming that Shark and Rat, which now we are Rat Shark, we are become Rat Shark. I'm assuming we're gonna meet up with Das Phantom at the warehouse.
Actually, you mentioned that because he is calling you as you speak. So, how do you coordinate, Phantom?
Shock, are you there? Are you there, Shock? Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Shock. Is the rat done with the rattening?
Yeah.
I don't understand your accent. What do you mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not. It's hard to hear you. Can you put rat on, please? Please, just that quick. I would like to speak to rat instead of Shock.
I hand while he's talking, I hand the phone like to Rat, just like hold it out to him, seeing if he'll take it. They'll take it.
Hello, rat. Are you there?
Nothing.
Rat,
Hello?
you might be on mute, Rats.
I don't think they want to talk to you.
Ah, that's very unfortunate. Anyways, so I've got a promising lead as to egg salad sandwiches. which I don't know if you have had, but I have not had since I ate one out of the fair once. The long story, don't need to describe. Um, Anywho's a bean. So warehouse district, I'm sending you the coordinates for the particular gated that's got it. The that got it being the egg salad sandwiches, and our question marked friend that we are trying to track down has been purchasing them from there. Any update on Rat? Is Rat alive?
Rat's done making the thing.
Rat turns, having realized that that Rat has been on silent, because
Ah,
Rat is eating chips, and kind of gestures at your pager, like,
oh,
why is
okay,
he calling? Why doesn't he
okay.
just text where we need to go and we go there? Why talk? Rat runs their spindly little rat hands through their hair, electric blue hair, clearly irritated.
Okay, and let's just conclude this excruciating conversation.
I
I'm
thought it
like,
was pleasant. Why is it so excruciating?
I like that probably because this is like the 90s that there's a charge for every minute because you're not
right.
using your nights and weekends. So you're calling during the day and it's just like
See
it's
you
also
there.
it's
Gotta
five double
go.
dollars per text.
Yeah. So I just say, see you there. Gotta go. And then
But
I turn to Rat and say, egg salad sandwiches, warehouse district. Get it?
I like how Shark has turned into Patrick Star. And
I'm just I'm letting him slowly degenerate over the course of
which
Rat
is
stares at
which is
Shark.
important because your character actually has an addiction. One of the cool features is that cigarette smoking is cool and it is something that a lot of people rely on. You instead, because you're so muscle bound, are addicted to steroids and you're getting those slumps because you haven't had your muscle juice in some time. So you probably might need to sneak off and what form do your steroids take and are you choosing to take them before you leave?
Yeah. I was gonna make a really funny Amos joke about I'm addicted to nicotine patches, but let's just make them steroid patches instead, and I'll
All
stick with
right. Well, that's better than the steroid suppository that I figured you might say. So patch is patch is better.
but I put it
So
right in the middle of my forehead.
your eyebrows just get biceps. Oh god. So you have so the camera cuts and you have like a little montage scene where shark, rat shark, uh, jumps a bunch of different types of transportation to get where Das Phantom is. And Das Phantom, I do have to ask, are you wearing your nice suit and tie or
oh, of
your
course.
black morph suit?
Ooh. Can I have the black morph suit under my suit and tie so I can
It
like
is.
just
I'm just curious which one you're wearing. Like I didn't
okay.
know too of when you were talking with that sad squid hat teen if you were wearing like a full
Okay,
black
so
suit and tie and
yeah, retconning this, definitely suit and tie when I was just at the looking for leads.
even more
Now
dad
that
like even that much more you broke their heart.
Yeah, that good-looking rich gentleman that he'd been waiting for so long, and the guy just straight
Mhm.
up dissed him.
It just
So
beat him with the capitalism's rod.
Yeah, with the Bezos
so
rod.
you were saying Phantom. I cut you off.
yeah, I was definitely wearing a suit then. Now I think since we've got a lead leading us here as lead uh I can't English right now.
Well,
Maybe if
good
I talk like this.
German.
So Phantom goes ahead and slips into the Morphe slick suit to try and be more elusive and changes hair color. So it's not to be confused with the guy wearing the suit that may have shown up here. Like I slip off in the corner and hide and come out all sneaky sneak. Hope that made any sense to anyone.
It did. Yeah, I
Okay, because
followed
it
you
doesn't to me.
on the journey. Like even at the beginning with the lead. I was with you.
Cool.
I mean, this
Cool,
is a
cool, cool.
jazz-focused game, and that was just him like
Riffing,
bebopping a little
you
bit.
know.
You know? Yeah.
That was just him being
So,
scat.
Yeah.
The three of you find yourselves in the warehouse district, and you can see from here that there are rows upon rows of monotonous, almost fortress-like warehouses, anywhere from small things like their size of a 24-hour photo mart booth to giant hab block sized warehouse complexes. And of
I
course,
I love the idea of a little tiny bitty warehouse, like the size of a photo booth. What are they storing in there?
You know, keys, buttons, package of gum.
so of course, though, you have this stagnant. There's this environs. There's a very thick fog in the air of tires on fire and old cheeseburger wrappers. That of course there is glowing in the distance the Get It Mart sign. You can see that compared to the Get It Mart that you had seen previously, Phantom, this one looks to be shabbier. The logo is not spinning perfectly centered, it's off kilter and squeaking. Half of the neon bulbs have burnt out, and it looks very much worn out, and almost like the whole building is sagging a bit.
Yes, this seems to be the place that you could acquire the egg salad.
Definitely.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, is Shark with me yet, or am I still by myself?
Three of
Well,
you are together through the magic of TV cutaway sequences.
yeah,
They did their
yeah.
montage,
Okay.
and you three are together.
All right.
Briefly, Rat disappears to maybe urinate in an alley. You're not sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Marcus
right, so
territory. Their
So,
territory.
Shark, here's what I'm thinking. I go in, not detect. They will not know that I am in there, and then I will go and look for our group of bounties that we will be collecting. Uh, you have thoughts about the plan, maybe?
Distraction.
You want to make a distraction while I go in
Yeah,
sneaky.
yeah.
We could reserve your distraction for if I screw up.
That's a good idea. I'll just go check out the egg salad sandwiches in the meantime.
Okay, so you look for egg salad sandwich. I look around and try to find the peoples. Maybe we ask for something. Rat, do you have any thoughts about a plan that we're formulating to go in and infiltrate the Get It?
Rat had to run and get migraine medicine real quick. So the only part of the plan that Rat heard was that Shark is getting an egg salad sandwich, which does not seem like a super effective plan for finding people.
You're pretty up.
Rat, do you think
Again,
you fully understood the plan exactly? Das Phantom said. Do you feel like you retained it all and you know exactly what you're doing?
Rat isn't convinced that Dusk Phantom isn't a bounty that he needs to be hunted. So Rat is going to formulate their own plan, which is to scamper through the aisles of the Get It and keep their eyes glued on their homemade uh, Game Gear NFT finder.
So Das Phantom has a whole plan about using stealth and stalking out the joint, and Rat's like, "Yes, I get the plan," and you just run it and run straight into the Get It Mart. You can tell that this whole place seems like it's just drained of energy because instead of the normal perky "Get it," it's "Get it." Like it's like the battery needs to be changed, and the door chime is much more lower pitch and slow. What does that sound like compared to the normal Get It Mart?
normal's obviously like, so this would be more of a.
I think he means the octopus xylophone sound, which is normally ding 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 ding. This is more of a like a funky bass line. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Get it.
I was.
I'm, I'm a
My
little
mine was
turned
just on
on.
the door itself, opening and
Yeah,
closing.
and I appreciated the additional Foley. I think we've got this whole theater of the mind thing, nicely squared away, I believe.
All we really need is a sexy sax solo in there. Boy, we'd be on our way to have a jam band now, wouldn't we?
Oh, once no, my daughter's asleep, or else I'd go grab the sax.
Yeah, John Roxbury, actually.
So when you tumble into the Get It Mart, Rat, do you see that this is very much at home to you? You've got it was this kind of cross between hyper technology, slum technology, trash and dirt. Imagine it is like a Walgreens in an abandoned side of town. It's brightly lit and dingy and dark at the same time, and there's odd kiosks and stuff.
I'm not
It's
sure why
Get
you're
It Mart.
describing my Walmart, but okay.
I mean, I haven't really been inside of a Walmart forever because whatever. So, yes, it is like that one convenience store that actually it's like Dollar General. I don't know, but Dollar Generals, I think, are a very depressing chain, at least the ones in the inner
Yes.
city. So,
All right,
it's like
I'm
Dollar
going
General.
to I feel good here.
Exactly.
I think I could probably use um I'm going to use blend in with my talent gather intel.
All right, so go ahead and blend into this place. Use your rat-like reflexes.
Okay.
As the Das Phantom watches from the side as his whole plan just crumbles.
That's a 5, but I'm going to go ahead and use my juice. And that okay, cool. 14 total, so
14. So you melt into the side and you make yourself just like a rack of various odds and ends of
I
goods.
just look like I belong there. Which I mean, like, yeah, I kind of do.
With your bright blue electric hair, you probably look like what convenience store item would look like that?
That is the Get It house brand of soda pop sold in a 5-liter bottle.
Perfect.
Squid
Of
Go.
course, they have all the blue flavors. And of course, no, we're not shitting on every type chain store. No, we love our corporate rod or whatever our reference is. We love big business. So you blend into the background. So you've watched this unfold, Das Phantom and Shark. So what is your response to this?
So
Well,
yeah, go ahead,
you go
Shirk.
first. No, you go first.
No, okay, okay. So if Das Phantom is seeing all of this, just go to the shit show.
Yes.
Well, why even sneak? Why? I make these plans and I go and I just look at Shark. I'm like, all right, let's go get the egg salad. Hello, normal humans here. Normal, not making a scene.
So the cork here is if the other individual was like a greasy faced teen, what type of worker would there be here?
Oh, they're so high on meth, like, and
Yeah,
I don't even blame them because they've
It's
been on
someone's
shift for
grandmother.
like, yeah, it's like and they've
Someone's
been on,
grandmother on space dust. Is that what I'm hearing,
yes,
sir?
yeah, yeah.
That is totally what the Walgreens person when I lived on the seedier side of Austin was. Those someone's grandma just like chugging it through her day on meth.
Well, when you
yeah.
work a 72-hour shift like this poor old, hey, let's make it babyface
She's four.
Gertrude.
No, not four. She's 24.
Oh,
Meth
I
is a
see.
hell of a space. Meth is a hell of a drug.
That's right.
More
Yeah.
more importantly, Shark, is her squid hat glowing? Where is she on the corporate on the
The
consumerism
Bezos
rod?
poll.
What?
She is so low on the Bezos poll, she doesn't even rate a squid hat. Like no hat at all.
Wow. So like a
Yeah.
visor? Like it's just like little squid tentacles coming out, or
Just hair coming out like tentacles. She
okay.
does have a uniform that shows that she's been on shift for, I said 72. Let's go ahead and make it 96 hours. And like that thing is starting to fall apart, as is she. And she's got her name tag all askew. And the name tag says Bethel, not Ethel, but Bethel.
Also, I will shout out to Warehouse Bard or Warhouse Bard. One of the two.
We are in the Warhouse Bar District, after all.
Ooh.
So, um, Bethel, not unlike the ethyl alcohol, she's probably huffing off to the
That's right.
side.
Takes the edge off. Yeah.
Actually, I guess you drink it, not huff it. But anywho's, you as you're looking at her, you can actually see like under her very like tightly thin, papery skin. That you swear you can see her pacemaker twitching. You don't know if it's trying to keep up with the meth or the meth or that space dust is causing to hyperdrive. But she looks at you very well. Twitchily would be an understatement, as she is both turgid and absolutely buzzing at the speed of light at the same time. It almost makes your eyes blur. In a way, Dust Phantom, it's like you, how you can blur into the background because you're so forgettable. She's the opposite. She's blurring, but you can't forget this thing. But you can't accurately describe this woman either.
Ah,
So, what are the two of you doing?
I'm
wow.
just gonna lay two egg salad sandwiches on the counter. I mean, this will be my treat. I've got count them 69 double dollars,
So,
and
okay, go ahead.
yeah, and then I'm gonna kind of look up at Bethel and just say NFTs.
So, you need to get those egg salad sandwiches out of the vending machine, but I mean, really, almost no one
Oh,
gets
I see.
the egg salad out of the sheet. So you getting the egg salad machine, the sandwiches out from this machine that makes like the clicking and the whirring sounds. It's got like the spring arms. It brings out a gas station grade egg salad sandwich, which is you feel like there are things squirming in it, whatever. But when you bring them over and you say NFT, like her eyes go already wider than they already are, which is strange because they were just pinpricks. They're almost like going from pinpricks to white at the same time as you put the egg salad sandwiches and you say NFT. She immediately cowers as you say NFT. She's like, "We don't take NFTs. We don't take NFTs. We don't take cash. Just take cash. Just give me cash. We don't want NFTs. Don't get me in trouble. Don't make me use the laser rod."
But don't
Okay.
threaten us with a good time.
Yeah.
Hi. I noticed how blurry you are. That's very something good there. Hi. Anyways, I am Dust Phantom. This is my comrades, Shock and Rat.
I'm
So,
not. I'm not there. I mean, I am
oh
not
yeah,
visibly
sorry,
there.
yeah, you're not visibly there. This is my friend, Mr. Shock, and so you know someone who wants to sell some MSTs, buy some NFTs,
So
exchange them.
she's tweaking pretty hard and she's having a very rough time. I'll need you, if you're trying to really get some information from her, to probably do something like either gather intel as brands are cool, or if you have something that might help her, you can even patch someone up if you want to try to help her in her obvious and very like her distraught mental health slash addiction crisis that she's going through. How would you
Mm,
want to interact with this
Or
poor?
do you want to give her hope and then try to slink away, crushing her dreams?
I mean, that seems to be on brand for me, right?
yeah, it's your MO.
Let's try to patch something up real quick. It's like, yeah. So, what's going on with you? You seem like you have a story to tell. Maybe a shoulder, maybe something you need to talk through.
So go ahead and make me that brains roll for you, Dos Phantom. That's a D10.
Yeah, yeah, it is. That is a D10.
What did you
Uh,
get?
a one.
Tell me how badly this goes. Extract to me how you have made this poor woman's situation infinitely worse than if you never existed. Like, I want to hear this.
All right, so tell me, how can I do to help you? It seems that you're extra, jittery and like maybe you're on something. Do you think that you have a problem? Yeah, that you could just, not quit, and this is why you've put yourself in this station in life. It's because of all your poor life choices that you keep doing all this space meth and junk, and it's just making things worse for you. It's soaking up your entire paycheck that you're wasting at a job that you go to every day, and you don't have a way out because you are the one who keeps fucking things up for yourself, and that you ultimately would be the one that would have to make the decision to stop and get better, but you can't because you just keep buying the space meth.
So So, yes, you get a juice. B,
Thank you for that.
the woman oscillates between abject sorrow, weeping, and then also flailing one of her arms underneath the table to get that electro prod that she mentioned. And you hear the sound of like crackingly, like electricity. And as you're in the side rat, and you've got your Game Gear like device to track power sucks, you see that you're getting that energy spike as this woman pulls out something like a cattle prod and tries to shank Das Phantom in the torso with it. So Das
I mean,
Phantom,
he kind of deserves it. I'm not going to stop it.
make me a dodge, dip, duck, dive, and roll. Basically, make me a moves break of some
Moves.
kind to avoid very hastily
What was it? Dodge, duck, dive, dip,
a
and
moves roll.
dodge.
So for
Yeah.
for Das Phantom, that's a D12.
I rolled an 11.
So you're not good at reconciling people's feelings or understanding feelings, but you can just stealth out of the way and you just glide past this cattle prod thing that Bethel was just waving in your direction while whining that like I had no other choice.
You see, Bethel, this is all the part of the problem that you've had that I told you about earlier. You see, you keep
we
making
don't
poor life
take
choices.
NFTs. I told you we don't take NFTs. Just take your sandwich and leave.
I guess we shall
Um,
be going, Chuck.
yeah, yeah. I think that we've explored this this quote unquote lead, and it.
You haven't even explored it. You just ruined some woman's life. Like
Yeah.
she's already at the end of her life, and you're just like, let's sink this woman's life lower. She's
Well,
already working at a get it mark. Let's make sure like her existence is just awful.
I hope she marries that first kid we saw.
This wasn't a hard nudge. I'm sorry. She
What if
worked at a
what
get
if
it.
what if Bethel was the kid's mom? You said like she works too much. Like what if this is his mom?
so he
be.
was both a terrible abandoning father figure and like a lecturing would-be boyfriend.
Just like a real dad.
Just like a real dad, yeah. Well done, sir.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so explain. So all right, so you are still here. I heard at one point the original plan was to lay a stake out for when those people might come back, or maybe someone else wants to try to gather some information of some kind in the space. I know that at one point, Rat, you said that you also wanted to try to gather some intel.
Yeah.
So, since you're sitting
didn't wanna
here,
do that.
squatting here, pretending to be some type of fizzy drink holding your
Yeah,
Game
yeah,
Gear
yeah.
sensor, go ahead and make me a gather intel. It's either brains or cool, whatever is better for you, to try to get a read on the power grid here and how it's changed over time. Perhaps you can get an indication of what's been happening here.
Bam. 11.
John's showing off his new
11.
dice bag.
I
So-
am. I got a new
Stop,
pretty dice
stop
bag.
putting your bag on camera. That's for the OnlyFans.
So you can
I only
tell
have an only
looking
feed.
at the instability of the grid and the power sequences here that part of the reason why the lights are so dim here and why some of those neon bulbs have burned out is that there have been repeated lots of energy surges in this area. So you're getting from the information that Shark pulled out earlier and from your other investigation that there's been lots of visits from those NFT gangers in this area.
I detach from my hiding spot. I chitter my teeth aggressively at the old woman who probably didn't know I was there until I stepped out.
Do you make some type of transformer sound as you move out of from being
No,
soda
I just
mode?
chitter like a horrible rat person.
We gotta
Okay.
hear it. Give us a chitter.
See, this is going to be the best episode we've done so far for people who are audio only and like have no idea what's going on, but just get the,
Yeah.
And I just skitter out of the mart.
It's
Oh, that's right.
And as soon as I'm out, I want to look to the left, to the right, and see if there's obvious signs of um
NFT activity.
over
Just
of any
pixelation all over
crypto
the
crypto
streets.
douchebags. See if there's any obvious wear on the electrical grid in a one direction or the other.
So you could either roll that as your device check, or you could read a situation as brains are cool, or as cool you could do street smarts to kind of get to,
We'll do brains.
all right.
Um
While Rad is doing that, I've finished my egg salad saxophone, and that's a bad idea because my reed is gonna taste like egg salad for like,
Eh,
well, I don't know, until I change the reed, probably.
I mean, it
I
could be a
got a
good thing.
6.
We're doing technical 90s reference. 90s reference, but technically happened in 2000s. It's also like that episode of Futurama where you've just also ingested tons of like tapeworm like eggs that luckily is not going to appear on this episode, but in the future, Shark's going to have some
Worms.
splatterpunk issues. So
Intestinal distress, right?
it's just
I was I spent a large chunk of today writing poetry about intestinal worms.
Awesome.
That's not even a joke. That's a real thing
Aw.
I did.
What that is time well spent.
so uh
What'd you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 6. I said that, but you were talking about your goddamn saxophone.
Of course,
sorry, I was too full of worms to hear you.
Same.
So what was your result? What did you say, Rat?
6.
6. So you're using your device and you are realizing that you haven't packed enough batteries. You're getting some type of signal coming towards the store, but is at the exact moment you've drained all 8 of your AA batteries in your Game Gear like sensor device.
I bet I could use that old lady's pacemaker.
Good lord.
Wow, this is like Geekdara all over again.
Things just took a turn.
For
Hey, guys.
people who haven't listened to the Yadera episode,
I was perfectly reasonable and kind in that episode. Ravioli Supreme did no war crimes.
So, all right. So if you know something is coming this way, but you really don't get a good signal of when and where it's going to arrive as your device has power down.
Did I
You
get
are-
a direction?
Yes,
Before
it
it
is
powered
coming from the east.
All right. I raise my hand and snap my horrible rat fingers,
Who do you
trying to
think?
get attention of Sharky and Das Phantom.
Did you actually say that you're moving inside
I'm not.
again, or are you snapping from the outside? of
No,
the
I'm
building?
snapping from the outside. Aren't they outside?
Yeah.
No, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
I apologize. I thought some of you were still in it. So you signal to the others that there is something approaching.
Yeah.
So what do the three of you do?
I'm just gonna go wherever the rat boy points.
I lurk into the shadows.
Go ahead and make me a cool roll for blend in. That's for you, Das Phantom, is a D8 plus. You could use your trait of not attracting attention, so you get your D4 bonus on top of that.
Oh, D4 bonus, going for that. D4, come on.
Roll the mighty pyramid.
Use your trait of not attracting attention, so you get your D4 bonus on top of that.
Oh, D4 bonus, going for that. Now I have a juice again, right? I have a juice.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I want to use that up right away.
So ruining an
So-
old woman's life has done something good.
Yeah. So currently I got a 2 and then a 1 on my D4. So I'm gonna roll just the D10 or no D8. D8.
I believe you get to re-roll both, unless you say otherwise on slot 6. That when you do use a juice, do you also re-roll your trait, or is it just the base die? I'll say do both until he corrects me otherwise.
Well, it's a 6 on the D8 regardless, and it'll be a 4 on the D4 if I get to use that. So could be an extra
Drop a
10.
10.
Let's do it for sake of narrative. You blend into that weird graffiti on the side of the building. What does it look like?
So it is graffiti on the side of the building in big like fun like bubble letters that are brightly colored. It says graffiti tag. And then underneath that it's got a hashtag sign, but then afterwards it says Octothorpe.
There's also a very tasteful nude of Al Gore.
I
Mm.
like the fact that these are bright things you've said, but he's wearing a black morph suit, so somehow he blends into that. How? Are you an
Uh,
Octothorpe right now?
yeah,
Or are you Al Gore's genitals?
I am Al Gore's like
I like the fact that
left
these
butt
He's a
cheek.
tasteful nude of Al Gore.
This is a pretty inconvenient moment.
Welcome to Wandering Monster, everyone.
Yeah.
Let
Let me come to the rescue. There's one particular tag with like very deep shading on it, like they did in the 90s. So it's like, 2 feet of like fake shade. And of course, that tag just says Bethel. And he's able to slip into the shadow of Bethel and creep on by for the sake of the
All
narrative.
right. So you melt into the graffiti. The rest of the other two of you are doing what?
I'm looking for a high ground that I can get on.
Yeah,
So
I'm just
why
following.
don't you go
Yeah.
ahead and proactively make an ambush someone roll, which was under your move.
Yeah. Let me see. Ambush someone is a move. I hate that move because it's really low. That's
And
my
what
lowest
about
pat.
you, Ship?
I mean, I. Hmm.
What was that?
What are you doing while Rat is making
Fine.
an ambush roll?
Oh, I'm licking the reed on the saxophone. I've learned to love the egg
Gross.
salad flavor there.
What are you doing
Tasty.
Hmm.
Rat is making an ambush? All right. So what did you get, Rat?
I can't pass that roll.
All right, it's probably because of the electric blue hair. You stick out no matter what you do, and you are just not as naturally stealthy as Al Gore's genitals. And Shark, you are preparing to busk, or what is it? You're just standing there licking your sax.
Yeah, just licking my saxophone.
All right, so we have a child thing with blue hair and middle-aged plus saxophonist licking a sax in the spotlight in front of a convenience store in a warehouse district.
Well,
Yes, correct.
I'm trying to get to high ground. I'm not necessarily trying to like hide that I'm doing
Okay.
that.
Well, you could. I'm sorry. Then why don't you scale the wall and then climb on top of the get it mark?
Get it. All right.
Get it.
I can conceivably pass this. I didn't, but I could
Do
have.
you have any juice?
I don't. I am not rolling as badly as
So
someone else named
you
Mr. Pashke
try to
is.
climb the wall and you end up partially climbing the phantom instead. So
I'm standing right here.
I
so
chitters.
as you
I
are
flick.
standing there, Shark, you're seeing some figures approach from the east.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use my cool to gather intel on those people who are approaching. So I think
You
that's
could
a
you could say, why don't you read a situation? Because you're not
okay.
unless you're going up and talking to them and saying, "Hey,
No, you're right.
you
You're
guys
right.
like egg salad?"
Yeah. So that's a D10, and I rolled myself a. Is that a 6 or a 9? Oh, neither. It's an 8. No, you're right. I rolled an 8.
All right, are you? So
I
you
can't use any of my gear really because I've only got the like the handcuffs, saxophone. Saxophone's not going to help me read a situation necessarily.
Or is
Wait a
it?
minute. Yeah, actually, yeah. As I'm busking with my saxophone, like I've finished licking it, and I start hurriedly like playing a little tune, and then as these people are approaching, I'm like, any requests?
What song were you playing before you stopped? Was it
Careless
Careless
Whisper
Whispers
every
again?
time. Yeah, yeah. It's what gets the most money in my saxophone case.
All right.
There are
So
other saxophone songs, you
You could play the Pink
jackass.
Panther. You could play the. I heard a guy once play the intro for the X Men cartoon from the '90s at Gen Con one year. I was
That's pretty
saying,
dope.
yeah.
Maybe Hat and Beard by Eric Dolphy if they're free jazz fans, but otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be Careless Whisper.
so the you're seeing like this group of people is pretty strange because you see in the distance that question mark that sticks out and Claudio's face, but the person that's coming up to you is of average frame, but is hooded. And when you say if they have a request, they pull back their hood, and it is a bright blue furry, like something that looks like a wolfkin or or like a dog, but it is clearly a furry, like a fursuit from 20th and 21st century Terra. Big
Cool.
eyes, tongue hanging out, fuzzy ears. Can you play?
Does
Can you
okay, this is important.
can
When
you
it
play?
talks, does the mouth move or is it just like a mask?
No, it's a mat. It's just it. You could tell it's one of those NFTs.
Ah, yes.
Can you play Careless Whispers? And it makes like this weird like winking emoji that pops up, like there's like a feed. This is like a yellow winky face emoji.
And I'm gonna say, I don't play Careless Whisper, and just whack, smack, smack the NFT guy in the side of the head with the baritone saxophone, which is, I believe, counts
Sax.
as a melee weapon because it's like fortified. It
It,
says
it,
in
it
my
is a
thing.
sweet reinforced sax axe.
Reinforced,
So
yeah.
it has a hidden switch that if you were licking too hard on the reed, you might pop it up at an axe head and pop out of the backside of the saxophone. So you completely flat foot this fur foot and go ahead and make me your muscles check for the get in a fist fight or handle big weapon. Same difference. You're going to be
Yeah, let
attacking
me
with
see.
your
That's the
attacks.
D12, right?
That is correct, and have a +1 since you're using a special weapon.
Okay. Well, looks like what I rolled is a 6. Sorry, these things are tough to read with the has a little dot instead of a line under it.
Sure, I can
So
understand.
yeah, that's not good. So 6 + 1 is 7. Is it a complete whiff?
So it's a partial whiff. So you basically try to make your pithy joke and you fling your axe at the target instead. So you nick them, but you throw your axe out into an alley and you can hear like that terrible sound of that, like your reed splitting.
Oh,
And you know you've lost all of that egg salad flavor in the reed that you were saving
oh no.
in the future. So you have
I'm
disarmed
so angry
yourself.
at you
You
guys right
have
now.
done uh, a partial success against the target. For a brief second, the NFTs cycle on his face, and it turns into some type of pink furry fursuit. What animal was that?
Panther.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, definitely a panther.
So you definitely think you hear a few squonks come out of your sacks that sound eerily like the Pink Panther, as the next NFT face is a Pink Panther. The other the other goons say, "They got the boss," and they swarm up. Now, combat is a little bit different in this game since it is a cinematic focus to it. So instead of a dedicated turn order or initiative, all of you collectively tell me when you decide that you want to go and when the enemies want to go. So I'm going to do you either you want to make a quick forum, but I will just immediately toss this off to Shark since you got the drop, and I think you can dictate a little bit of how the scene is going to go. So you have these goons and the NFT person. So you have the normal one, the Frank or the Bashki Blade Bashki, who's currently looking like a Gandalf with a very long needly nose. Claudio
Wait a minute. A Gandorf, I think.
Gandangle, sorry. Gandang, and the Claudio with the question mark.
Okay, hang on just one second.
Um, I know that Rad is going to be moving very swiftly after uh, Shark blows his proverbial cover.
Right. I as well. That Phantom would have his gun at the ready and prepares to shoot the incoming gang members to make them leak the blood.
And for the normal one, since the normal one changes their faces, looks just like an average um, person, had very tight cornrows and nice gold rimmed glasses, almost a very studious face, which is at kind of odds to like the warlike position that the person's frame now carries.
Okay, so
So who's going when?
I'm gonna go right now. I have a background in pro wrestling. My character,
Okay.
yeah, which I forgot to mention at the beginning. So my apologies for that. I am going to body slam the person that I know is the NFT
Pink
kingpin.
Panther.
Yes. And I'm going to do that through the mechanism of knock someone out to try and just knock their ass completely out with one fell swoop. And I rolled the wrong dice because that says
So
14.
you have a D12 for that, and because your talent is pro wrestling, you get your D4 trait bonus.
Okay, so that would be a 12. And I don't even need to add the
Wait, did
thing.
you roll a nat 12?
Yeah, I rolled a nat 12
Okay, so you
when I
get
found the
one of
correct die.
juice.
One juice
You get a
and
juice, and you get your D4 bonus, which is whatever it is. It is required by pro wrestling law. Even though you're no longer an official pro wrestler, you still have to abide by the laws, and you have
right.
to say a witty catchphrase as you suplex your foe. What is it?
Uh,
Can
get
you
ready
follow
as I NFT bag ya, and then I kind of
Oh, I was
Zangief
gonna say,
style.
I thought you were gonna say, get it.
That would have been short and sweet, but I'm gonna NFT bag ya. I think is the one I'm gonna go with.
So you straight up put him in. Describe how that unfolds because you have a roaring success. Good. I mean, you've nicked them and then you've got them in this pro wrestling suplex. How does that play out?
Well, I pick them up and I jump. I have like about a 2 foot vertical, and in the air, flip them upside down, wrap my entire like legs and arms around their torso, and pile drive their head completely into the concrete. Like the head stays together; it doesn't kill them, but it does go into the concrete. So they're stuck there, unconscious because I just knocked their ass out, with their legs kind of dangling in the air and their head stuck in the concrete.
So there is a actinic uh, rush of energy as you shatter their NFT projector. You hear the sound of like a very heavy belt full of batteries clattering to the ground as you smash their head face into the pavement. So you have had a partial success and a full success against the target. The other goons see that you have slammed the boss, and the no longer Pink Panther. You see the very mushed face of what looks like to be in our chat stream of this young man who seems to be out cold, still breathing as you feel their chest rising and falling. But the other goons are looking at you with a lot of trepidation. Yes, the rat in the back.
I would like to go next if that's okay.
Yeah.
Mr.
All right.
Patchkey?
Yeah, sure, it's fine. It's fine.
Um, as the thrum of the NFT mask dissipating fades, you hear you haven't heard Rat speak, uh, but now you hear the maniacal laughter, which can only mean one thing. As Rat magical girl transforms a la Floozy Koozie and pulls out what can only be described as a gun that is far too big for anyone. Like this gun would be oversized on Shark. This gun is the kind of thing that you would see a tech marine mount on a piston on their armor.
Or maybe even on top of like a designated
Yeah, this is
Ogrim or like a, what are they called? A Migu. Yeah.
You're basically pulling a trigun.
yeah. I'm pulling a Trigun here,
Yeah.
and Rat screams, "Get it!" and opens fire.
All right, so go ahead and handle a big weapon.
Yes. Oh, there's my D10. I will get that,
And
and I get
your trait is handle a big weapon because your signature is this giant gun of yours. So you get your D4 bonus on top of that to make sure everyone does indeed get some.
yep. All right, that is. Thank God for all the bonuses. I rolled a 10.
So it's a good thing you got a success because otherwise, definitely Shark would have gotten a lot more than Shark would have ever wanted. So you just lay a wall of this carpet of just suppressing fire against
Laughing the entire
goons,
time.
absolutely maniacally. So you inflict a wound on each of them, and so you incapacitate the three goons in one fell swoop, and you have off to the side, Shark is dragging the form of the NFT bro proper. And I mean that's right where we need to be since we're so close to our time window.
Yeah, it's pretty
The,
perfect.
the real question is, and Phantom's been watching this, and Phantom, you still have your action. Uh, you have seen all of these people get wounded, and your target has been incapacitated. Inside, Shark also has handcuffs to also cuff people. The real question is, these people are worth more dead than
Yeah,
alive.
That
So
is
that
a
is
truth bomb.
that is a problem for them, not for me. The fact of them being tied to the mortal coil, making them worth less, not that they have no value, but worth less to me, is an inconvenience for their living situation. Uh, I do have a gun, and I am capable of using it. I also have bombs, which I forgot about, and they might have been a lot of fun if I had thought about it sooner. But we could always, walk over slowly and use my trait to what was it, blow stuff up, shoving the bombs down the throats.
all right, so you're going to take your frag grenade and you're basically going to make them into easily to transport mincemeat.
As long as we have enough to identify who they were, I think that's what matters.
All right,
Yeah.
so you're making sure the dental records stay intact.
Yeah, so I
Thus down
probably,
the throat. Yeah.
yeah, no, more going towards the throat, but from the other side.
Ah,
So what
gotcha.
you do is
Okay.
first you remove the pantaloons, then you insert the frag grenades.
So go ahead and for fun, make me a blow stuff up, which is moved. So that's your D12.
First, you remove the pantaloons.
That's
This, a high
that's a
contender
10.
for line of the evening.
What was that
So
number?
I roll a
Nat
10.
10.
Do
Yeah.
I get
10.
a?
So you help wrap up this whole scenario where you have turned all of your bounties into convenient piles of wet meat that you could just go right inside the get it mart and get yourself some Ziploc baggies to transport them to the bounty network to cash in your prize.
I wonder
So
if we get a bonus because they're not just dead, but like
extra
sloshing
dead.
around in a bag. Yeah.
Well, you have to make an example of these criminals against society. So definitely there is a bonus. Each of you will get a 50 double dollar bonus on top of that. So you get 600 double dollars for each of these people that you have liquefied.
Tickety dope.
So you have made enough money that you can fix up that vent exhaust leak that you have going on in the shipwreck. Phantom, you get yourself another nice new black suit that looks like all the other suits, but you feel like you really need. Actually,
This
I
one
feel
is
like I should be
Italian.
telling you what you buy. What do you buy with your bounty money? Let's redo that. Rat, what do you do with your share of the bounty money? What is it you buy?
No one knows.
That's
Mm.
a
But
good
I
point.
have less. I have less money. The ship is in better condition, and I seem to be eating a lot of easy cheese.
What is it that you buy, Phantom?
Well, you like the previously mentioned other black suit. This one, like I know the difference. First of all, it's cut slimmer, which looks better on my figure. Obviously, I would buy some. Oh, I don't know, a nice bottle of schnapps. Now, yes, bottle of schnapps, bottle of gin, bottle of absinthe. Um,
It's not
uh,
that much double dollars, unless you're trying to go back into debt.
Look, I have some money now and I get money later. Right now, I'm planning for the future. And the future is Thursday night, and the future is Friday night and Saturday night. And after that, where are you?
And besides a new read, what do you buy, Shark?
Oh man, new read. I should have thought of that. I am going to buy a whole new saxophone to complement my Barry axe. I'm going to get a alto sword saxophone.
I thought you were going to say an egg salad sandwich. That's a better idea.
Yeah. So now I can go in double wielding. Like two saxophones, little bitty one, big one.
So, with another saxophone to help with a dual sexy sax serenade that you're going to get at some point, it's a double dose of careless whispers. That concludes your adventure wrapped up there, right there on the edge of a Get It Mart. So we wrap up this encounter with a final uh get it get it commercials. So what's the someone give the slogan and the sound for Get It Mart?
Get it,
Get it.
get it.
Get it.
Awesome, fantastic. So that puts us at our outro.
John, do you want to handle landing this thing?
I can. You want me to? I can start bringing in the landing gear.
John
mean,
is
John-
Shut up,
can
because I've
try.
been on mute for 5 minutes and I have important shit to share.
okay.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are a blast to have in chat. Please, anytime you want to come and join us and hang out and say dumb things that we will probably integrate into our play, please do. Like, it's a
Almost
blast to have people
undoubtedly.
on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a whole like chat going on in here.
It's great.
With like game creators and designers and writers and players. It's really cool. If you're listening in the audio, hey, we're on Twitch and YouTube too. You can actually watch our dumb faces go through. You could see my face making that noise,
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
which I'm pretty sure you want. Just a couple of quick things. I just want to point out that I got these two things today.
Ooh.
This is this is Little Lugosi, which arrived while we were recording, from Douglas Ford, and Addicted to the Dead by Shane McKenzie. Both of these are coming out. They're both out on Godless now. Look, I know we're not Madness Heart Press specifically here, but here's the deal.
Hearing his
art
joy.
for the art for these is done by Luke Spooner, who also did the cover art for the Madness Heart games, Numinous Brutality, and for Godless League, which is coming out next Sunday, guys.
Mhm.
Get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get it.
Don't just want it. Go get it. Get
Yeah.
it at
Correct.
Godless.com.
That's right.
And we'll be playtesting that more. So if you want to find us, go to wanmoncast.com. It has all of our bios so you can learn more about us. It has ways you can go to all of our different websites. You can find me and Charles's books, our author pages, our Amazon links, our Godless links. You can find Charles, Mr. Patchkey, and Ian Servas's socials. You can find everything, including our schedule, and when we'll be recording and what we're going to be playing on onemoncast.com. So check us out there. Please like and subscribe. Click that bell, I guess. I don't know. We love you. This has been so
We
much
do.
fun.
Yeah,
And
this was a lot of fun.
Onslaught.
I have a
This
mic.
is a great game. This is a lot of
References are
fun.
on point.
I went to the website and bought a copy while we were playing.
So
So
you should do it
it's
too. The links in the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah,
so
All
it's
cool
really
kids are
good.
doing it.
It gets sent
Uh,
out directly from Onslaught 6's house, so you know you
Yep.
want it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
Get it.
yeah, it's very cool. We will be back not on Monday because we are done killing ourselves by
Yeah,
double
this,
booking.
Or
this
shorten it.
double dipping ship is got to
Uh,
go. Yep.
We'll
We
make
are-
it like Bethel.
Yeah.
We are we are going
96 hours and counting.
we are going to be back next Wednesday where we will be playing Ian.
We're going to be playing Warpland.
We'll be
Yeah.
playing Warpland, y'all. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We have lots of cool shit planned. So thank you so much for joining us on this consensual journey we call Wandering Monster. I have been John Baltusberger.
I have been Charles R. Bernard.
Ian Servas.
Mr. Pashke.
And we will see you next week for Warplands, but until then, stay safe, but, stay scared.
Get it.
Get it.